In the shadows of Victorian England, a secret society emerged that would forever change the landscape of Western occultism. Welcome back to Chronicles Explained, where today we pull back the veil on one of history's most influential magical orders, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The year is 1888. Queen Victoria sits on the British throne. The Industrial Revolution is transforming society. And in London, three Freemasons, William Wynne Westcott, Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers, and William Robert Woodman, establish a mysterious organization dedicated to the study and practice of ritual magic, alchemy, and the occult. But this was no ordinary secret society. The Golden Dawn would attract some of the most brilliant minds of the era and develop a magical system so comprehensive that its influence continues to reverberate through esoteric traditions to this day. The story begins with a mysterious cipher manuscript allegedly discovered by Westcott in 1887. These encrypted documents contained outlines of magical rituals and diagrams of unknown origin. Westcott, already an accomplished scholar of the Kabbalah and Hermeticism, worked to decode the manuscripts with Mathers' assistance. Upon deciphering them, they claimed to have found the address of a German occultist named Anna Sprengel, identified as a high-ranking adept of a secret magical order. After corresponding with Sprengel, they allegedly received authorization to establish a British branch of this ancient order. Whether Sprengel actually existed remains one of the Golden Dawn's enduring mysteries. The founding trio named their new organization the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, drawing from two powerful traditions. Hermetic refers to Hermeticism, the ancient Egyptian-Greek wisdom tradition attributed to the mythical figure Hermes Trismegistus. The Golden Dawn symbolized the arrival of a new spiritual light in a world they viewed as shrouded in materialistic darkness. But what made the Golden Dawn truly revolutionary was its unprecedented approach to magical training. Previous Western mystery schools had been fragmented, each preserving particular aspects of the esoteric tradition. The Golden Dawn's genius was in creating a comprehensive, coherent system that synthesized diverse magical traditions into a practical curriculum. The order operated on a grade system of spiritual advancement, divided into three orders. New initiates joined the first order, or outer order, where they learned the theoretical foundations of magic. This included studying the Hebrew alphabet, astrology, alchemy, geomancy, tarot, and the Kabbalah, particularly the symbolic diagram called the Tree of Life, which mapped out the various levels of existence from the divine to the material world. What's fascinating is how the order's curriculum carefully guided members through progressive stages of development. Each grade corresponded to a sephira, or sphere, on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Initiates began at Malkuth, the earthly realm, and worked their way upward toward the divine source. Each grade required memorizing complex symbolism, participating in elaborate initiation ceremonies, and demonstrating mastery of specific magical techniques. Members were given magical mottos in Latin or Greek that reflected their spiritual aspirations. Mathers took the motto Es Rieghail Mo Dream, meaning Royal is my tribe. The poet W.B. Yeats, another famous member, chose Demon est Deus inversus, the devil is God inverted. The order's rituals were theatrical productions designed to awaken altered states of consciousness. Picture the scene: a temple decorated with Egyptian, Greek, and Hebrew symbols. Initiates dressed in robes and regalia corresponding to their grade. Officers representing cosmic forces stood at specific positions in the temple. Colored lamps, incense, and dramatic recitations created a multi-sensory experience. The neophyte ceremony, the first initiation, was particularly dramatic. The candidate, blindfolded and bound by a rope around the waist, was led into the darkened temple. There they were ritually challenged by guardians at various points before being presented to the Hierophant, the chief officer representing Osiris, the Egyptian god of death and resurrection. At the climax of the ceremony, the blindfold was removed in a flash of light, revealing the temple and assembled officers. This moment symbolized the beginning of spiritual awakening, the first glimpse of the dawning light that would guide the initiate on their magical journey. For those who advanced to the second order, called the Rossae Rubae et Aureae Crucis, Ruby Rose and Cross of Gold, the training became even more intense. Here, members learned practical magic, how to create and consecrate magical tools, perform invocations, travel astrally, and use visualization techniques for manifestation. One of the most distinctive practices was the technique of assuming god forms. Adepts would visualize themselves taking on the appearance and qualities of specific Egyptian deities. By identifying with these divine archetypes, they believed they could channel specific cosmic forces. A magician working with healing might assume the form of Isis. One seeking wisdom might embody Thoth. Members also practiced what they called scrying in the spirit vision, a form of guided visualization where they mentally traveled to specific spiritual planes corresponding to elements, planets, or zodiacal forces. They recorded these journeys in detailed journals, creating a body of experiential knowledge. The Order's magical operations centered around their distinctive system of correspondences, associations between colors, divine names, angels, elements, planets, metals, and plants. These correspondences were organized into complex tables that members memorized and used as the framework for ritual construction. The notorious Aleister Crowley, who joined the Order in 1898, later published many of these teachings in his magazine, The Equinox, despite having sworn oaths of secrecy. This breach was just one manifestation of the tensions that would eventually tear the Golden Dawn apart. By the late 1890s, cracks were forming in the foundation. Westcott resigned from his leadership position after his superiors, in his day job as a coroner, discovered his occult activities. Mathers, increasingly authoritarian and claiming sole contact with the Order's secret chiefs. Supposed superhuman adepts guiding the organization from the astral plane moved to Paris and attempted to rule from afar. In 1900, the London Temple revolted against Mathers' leadership after Crowley, acting as Mathers' envoy, attempted to seize control of the Order's premises and documents. The scandal deepened when evidence emerged suggesting that Westcott may have forged the founding documents and the correspondence with the mysterious Anna Sprengel. The Order splintered into several groups. Poet W.B. Yeats led one faction. Mathers maintained his own branch. Arthur Edward Waite formed a more mystically oriented group, less focused on practical magic. And, most significantly, two talented adepts, Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers and his wife Moyna, formed the Alpha et Omega, while Robert William Felkin and John William Brodie Innes established the Stella Matutina. Though the original Golden Dawn lasted little more than a decade, its legacy is immense. The Order's innovations transformed Western occultism, establishing practices and principles that continue to influence magical traditions today. Consider the ubiquitous lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, a foundational exercise in modern ceremonial magic that originated with the Golden Dawn, or the standard associations between tarot cards and Kabbalistic symbolism, which were largely systematized by Golden Dawn members. The Order's influence extended far beyond occult circles. Its synthesis of mythology, psychology, and ritual anticipated Carl Jung's work on archetypes and the collective unconscious. Its emphasis on symbolic drama influenced the development of modern psychotherapy. Even the fantasy genre owes a debt to Golden Dawn concepts that filtered into popular culture. Many of the 20th century's most influential occultists were either Golden Dawn members or heavily influenced by its system. Israel Regardie, who published the Order's secret teachings in the 1930s, made these techniques accessible to later generations. Dion Fortune, who briefly belonged to an offshoot group, developed psychological interpretations of magic that bridged esoteric practice and depth psychology. Modern pagan and magical movements, from Wicca to chaos magic, draw heavily on Golden Dawn techniques and symbolism, often without realizing their origin. Even when contemporary practitioners reject aspects of the Golden Dawn's ornate Victorian approach, they frequently operate within the conceptual framework it established. What made the Golden Dawn so revolutionary that its influence persists more than a century later? Perhaps it was the order's unique balance between rigorous scholarship and visionary experience, between ancient tradition and innovative synthesis. The founders were steeped in classical languages, history, and philosophy, yet they created a system that emphasized direct spiritual experience rather than mere intellectual knowledge. There's also something compelling about the Golden Dawn's central premise, that ordinary people could develop extraordinary abilities through disciplined practice. The order rejected the idea that magical power was available only to those born with special gifts. Instead, they created a structured curriculum that could transform anyone willing to do the work. Today, groups claiming Golden Dawn lineage continue to operate around the world. Some adhere closely to the original rituals and teachings, while others have modernized the system. The internet has made previously secret knowledge widely available, allowing solitary practitioners to work with Golden Dawn methods without formal initiation. Yet there's an irony here. Despite all the published material, something essential about the Golden Dawn experience remains inaccessible through books alone. The dramatic initiations, the guided development under experienced adepts, the shared group mind of a working magical community. These elements cannot be fully captured on the page. Perhaps that's fitting for a tradition that always emphasized that true understanding comes not just from studying symbols, but from embodying them. Not just from reading about magical states, but from experiencing them directly. As we've uncovered in this exploration, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was far more than just another Victorian secret society. It was a laboratory of consciousness, a crucible of modern Western magic, and a bridge between ancient wisdom traditions and contemporary spiritual practice. If you've enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of the Golden Dawn, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming episodes on other influential secret societies throughout history. For Chronicles Explained, I'm your host, revealing the hidden currents that shape our world, one mystery at a time. Until next time, remember that sometimes the most powerful magics are hiding in plain sight.